Hello dogs, Lildawg right here, right now. Welcome back to Magical Eyes, Red is for Anguish. Now, hopefully the music isn't too loud this time. If it is, I'm gonna punch myself in the face. So, talk about some kind of event. No fixed plan, but don't sound like you're going somewhere for a trip. I'm not. I'll be staying at home like any other weekend, unless I have things to do outside. I think I might get called in for my part-time job thing, though. I remember you saying something like that before spring break, too. My job doesn't care about time. Or more like, I can tell I'm certainly gonna have to do some work. For the past few years, I haven't made it through any holiday weeks without hearing the call of duty. There's got to be some co-workers asking for days off for the holidays, and a certain young man with some skills and nothing to do will wind up super busy. I wish I could have 8 arms like an octopus for efficiency. Didn't you say 10 legs like a squid before spring break? Living in the ocean called reality has been so cruel that I've lost 2 of them. I've also brought some root beer. So, cool, delicious A&W root beer. The best. I see. That ocean sounds horrifying. By the time summer vacation comes, I might have even less. As many as a yellowtail? Oh. Dang it. Yellowtail is a fish. It's got no arms or legs. I didn't... Good night. Yellowtail. In Japanese language, this fish obtains a different name as it grows, and various names depending on the region of the country. When it is young, it is called buri in the Kansai region and inada in the Kanto region. Its fresh sashimi makes such a terrifying, delicious side dish with white rice. This is simply the writer's personal view. Yellowtail's a fish. It's got no arms or legs. What about you, Ogawa? What are you doing on the holidays? Nothing special, lots of free time as always. Just thinking about it gets me meh. No, I guess that's not it. It gets me gah. She moans tiredly enough to make me believe she honestly means it. She appears to feel the same about Golden Week as I do. What's this Golden Week? Does it say anything about that in the index? No, it doesn't. I'd rather come to school. That statement would set all other students in the whole country against you. Same here in America. I'm sure they would all express deep sympathy for me. I wish I could split my free time and share it with you. Right, it'd be so convenient if we could share time like that. We might be able to if we use all we've got. How? With the power of love? I don't think even love can make it happen. If someone figures it out, I'll sell you 1 hour for 500 yen. You take money for it? Besides, that's pretty cheap. It's a special discount for you, Amakawa. For anyone else, it would be 500 million per hour. If I remember correctly, Japanese currency is... like 500 to me would actually be a lot over here in America, but over in Japan, that's not much. It's like It's differences between how valuable the currencies are, and I believe... Would it be more valuable or less valuable? I think a yen has less value. I don't know. Just me going on my rants, as usual. Or rambling on. Isn't that way beyond a discount? Now I'm feeling sorry for this special treatment.
So with
that huge benefit, if you could buy time for me, how many hours would you get? That sure is an awesome offer, but I'm broke all the time. You are? You bet. Maybe I'd better wait until the price drops a bit more. Gotcha, I'll see what I can do then. I'll try to work a little harder during the holidays too. To be honest though, if she really is fine with that pricing, I have enough money saved up to afford the rest of her entire life. Alright, I'll give your CBD back on Friday. I was going to do it today, but it slipped my mind. No rush. Actually, the tunes are so nice, I bought and downloaded them. She taps her bag twice. Your favorite digital music player must be in there. Really? Wow, I'm glad I recommended it to you. I have the same type of player as her, just in different color. But what really surprised me was that the same goes for the headphones we use too. I understand it's just a coincidence, but since the headphones are kind of special products, the fact that someone close to me uses them pleases me. Can you also bring the DVD player you mentioned before when you return the CD? I'd like to borrow it. It contains a B-movie titled The Gouda Cheese, The Smell of Suspicion. You're reminding me of Orange Tan and her freaking puns. This is a comedy mystery movie where a poor undergraduate and a self-proclaimed charismatic cattle farmer challenge many mysteries together. The original novel series, Cheese Series, has 6 titles, including the above one, and a portion of its readers are rabid fans. The latest title is Elegiac Mozzarella. Is this a real thing? Hold on, let me check. Okay, no, this is not a real thing. The Elegiac. If it is a real thing and I'm just looking up the wrong name, then please let me know. Sure, I'll bring it. Does it have the same pattern? An incident occurs in the beginning of the story and the criminal is gradually driven into a corner as it progresses. Yes, but it's focused more on how done it than why done it. The story takes place at a dairy farm deep in the mountains, which turns into a locked room because of the huge amount of overflowed milk. That premise sounds very original. Characters have pretty unique personalities. It's more diverse than the previous title. But you found it amusing, right? Amusing? I guess it's more like it fits my taste or something. I think I'll feel the same then. Based on my past experience, she and I share similar tastes in a bunch of things. As long as she likes it, at least it won't be way out of my range either. That put a lot of stock in my tastes. After these random chats, we found ourselves past the gate. Though I feel talking more, we need to end the fun here. I don't have to feel anything special about it. We'll get to do this again on Friday, over and over after Golden Week as well. Pondering what to say as parting words, I turn to her and find her eyes holding a look that's a little more serious than usual. Say, let me ask you something. Do you think at least one of your octopus arms will be free during the break? That question explains her serious expression. I'm sorry, but it's not very likely. The unusual look on her face delays my answer a little. Alright, but... yeah? If your plans change and get some free time, maybe we could meet for a little while during the break. Usually I would play dumb and give a roundabout no and answer. We have had this sort of talk before, and she must know what I'm going to say, But hey, why would I have the same thing all the time? I've been pretending to have returned to my everyday life, but in truth, I've just been concerned about my hand from last night. It can't hurt to be slightly grateful to her for consoling me, so I decided to say something different. Sure, if my plans change, I'd be happy to. I think I'm allowed to offer that at least. What? What's wrong? You look taken aback. No, I'm not. I'm fine. I mean, I'll see you on Friday. Yeah, see you then. Maybe I shouldn't have, but whatever. Given the situation I'm in and not having been mindful enough of her, that might not have been the most appropriate response. Even so, I don't regret it. Perhaps because her parting smile was as bright as today's blue sky. Okay. Main scenario. Choosing locations with this marker advances to main scenario. Choosing a location with no marker will show you a sub-scenario. Pressing this button will switch to the corresponding map. Placing a cursor over a location will display the location's information. Okay. Ramen shop, noodle graveyard. Noodle graveyard, ramen shop located in the rundown street. Its original name is Ramen Shop So Yummy, but what they serve is so horrible that people prefer to use the miserable nickname instead. This area will probably give a lot of first-time visitors the impression that they might have gotten lost in an alien world. A glimpse of the shopping district filled with the washed out shop signs no doubt reminds of good old traditional Tokyo towns or the human kindness that could be found in those towns. If that were all there was to it, it would be rather easy to lavish praise on the place. What makes that difficult is that it lacks one of the most essential elements: people. No shoppers who come and go, no store strafers attracting foot traffic. It's far too quiet for a shopping district. You could argue it's a bazaar given that it is early in the evening on a weekday, and this area is just 10 minutes away from the station. Regulars and nearby residents ironically call this place the Cave because of its dimness. It's desolate all the time, yet never runs out of people either. What a mystery it holds. Even locals aren't drawn by this 20-meter-ish street due to its unusual lineup of shops. There are no regular grocery stores to be found, nor anything offering entertainment that's in popular demand, such as CD stores, bookstores, or game shops. The only stores here are the ones that would make maniacs with less than unusual pursuits rejoice. For instance, we have a shop of model heavy machinery, or one that sells supplies for slugs. Just who uses those? A shop that sells supplies for slugs. Thanks to the absence of any generally popular shops, the whole street looks as if it was out of business even when the stores are open. Then, why doesn't it completely lose its visitors? That's just because there's a demand for it. But that only applies to the other face of the street. A particular section of the Cave Street has an extremely special meaning to certain individuals. And what rules? It is this extremely suspicious ramen shop located midway. I'm sorry for that. And what rules it is? It is this extremely suspicious ramen shop located midway along the street. Instead of replica food models of what they serve, the front of the shop is occupied by an unexplainable parabolic antenna. It's hard to imagine the shop's appearance would lead anyone into thinking they could enjoy a treat there. Because of the shop's owner's uncorrectable flaw, those who will shop, those who know the shop will address it with a disgraceful nickname. Only two types of people visit here, those with a weird sense of taste and those who know the other face of this place. Since Amikawa's used sense of taste is fairly average, he belongs among the latter. An indescribable smell permeates the air in front of the entrance. Even though I smelled it a million times, I'm still not used to it at all. But I have things to do in there. Exhaling. Oh. And I steel myself to enter and put my hand on the stubborn sliding door.
Irashai!
Well, welcome. Hello?
Oh, 久しぶりってほどじゃねえな。
Oh, it's been not so long, eh? I guess not. Fortunately, there's not a single customer in here. The list of victims shouldn't grow needlessly. Oh, Pops! A self-proclaimed cook produces objects that appear to be cuisine at what seems to be a ramen shop. Most people who know him call him Pops. Even though he appears to be a licensed chef and his shop looks good enough, no one ever accepts him as a cook after they have once tasted what he serves. Pops, I know I always ask this, but just how can you create this funny smell? Trade secret. Hold on a second, what's that happy face for? But yeah, it might be best to keep it a secret. Some company may ask for it to produce a crime prevention device or something. So I'm guessing the stuff he serves is bad. So, what brings you here today? Looking to sample my ramen? Yeah, I know what ramen is. I have it a lot, actually. Haha, not in a million years. The cuisine of this middle-aged man who looks like a cook consists of complete pieces of weaponry. They are, so to speak, gustatory bombs. Each time I tell someone about this, they get the wrong idea that his cooking is so delicious it blows your mind. When I say bomb, I literally mean a weapon that destroys your sense of taste. Wait, what the heck was that laugh for? What the heck was that supposed to mean? Sorry, but not being honest would only hurt me. Especially my tongue would be fatally harmed. Hey, that's just too much, Junior. I'm just telling the truth based on past experience. Actually, I tried to mince my words as much as I could. There's no way I'd forget that just half a year ago, all the samplers of his new self-approved dish had to experience a miracle, or they couldn't taste any sweetness for the next 24 hours. Plus, I was one of those victims. Well, that's just because it didn't happen to suit your tongue. I heard Ren had trouble with his ear canals for about 3 days after he ate it. I feel like that's just being mean at this point. Well, that's just, it didn't happen to suit. It didn't happen to suit Susanari's ear canals. Would you kindly explain how one could cook something that drives ear canals insane? I feel like you're being mean at this point. Forget it already, Junior. You're here for something else, right? Let's get to it, shall we? A forceful change of subject.
自慢のラーメンが目的じゃないとすれば、一体何用なのよってまあ一つしかねえわな。
Hold on. Ah! So, if it's not about my excellent ramen, what would it be? Duh, there's just one answer. Yes, I'm here to report on last night. The Type B target was wiped out, and the female vessel has been taken under protection.
ご苦労さん。こっちでも確認済みだぜ。
Great work, I confirmed that on my end too. Although he replies as though it's not a big deal, knowing him, he must have seized details within a couple minutes after the end of the engagement. Despite the appearance of a disfavored ramen shop, in here is all sorts of information and is quicker than anywhere else, gathered not only from inside of the city, but from the entire prefecture. Information both good and bad. This man plays the role of the antenna that receives and deals with enormous amounts of information, and that is the other face of the one who runs this failed ramen shop. Ah!
ちなみに
By the way, although it's not directly related to your assignment, Kitamura's reports did indicate that the female vessel didn't suffer any significant lasting injury. Yeah. Ah, okay. Okay. Does that dispel your concern? It does. I thought she'd be fine when I fought her, but still. I'm relieved that the girl who was accidentally dragged into that misfortune will soon be able to return to her everyday life. Once the department in charge of dealing with the aftermath gets their part done, the case will be fully closed. I'm going to have the target's relics investigated. Do you mind that? Do you suspect one of them has turned into a material variant? A type of variance describes non-living objects that have turned into variants. The biggest difference from the other types is that they are born only when influenced by external factors, because objects do not possess any mental capacity. Not impossible. She was a type B, but the way she became one was unusual. Some of her stuff has to have a strong connection with her grandmother. I have one condition.
Huh?
Yeah? I think back on her journal entries I went through yesterday. What was written in there regarding those invaluable days she and her grandmother spent together. So, I was right. We are playing as the dude who fought that lady in the intro. We have her diaries. You mean that copied document attached to her file? That's right. Whether they're material variants or not, could you dispose of the original books in any copies so that no one can touch them? And what's that for? No particular reason, I just want it to be that way. Since material variants with enormous powers are extremely rare, their value is immense. I'm well aware of how inconceivable it is to request discarding items like that without any good reason, especially if there's no apparent risk involved, but I still insist. Now I get it. That's the main reason you came here today, isn't it? A sense of commiseration, is it? Understand it's unreasonable, but please. Pops falls in deep thought. That's a natural reaction considering his position as the head of those in charge of this area. To be more accurate, he is obligated to collect objects like that. What the heck? Well, she's going to be buried in her grandmother's grave. I'll have someone bury her diaries somewhere close after they undergo appropriate treatment. Thank you, I appreciate it. When it comes to the belongings of someone who buried, the responsible member's intention takes top priority. That's why. Refers to how a living being turned into a phantasmagoric entity because of unimaginably strong emotions. Living beings tend to become varied by the influence of an intense mental state that arises during the act of dying. Plus, all those diaries contain is the owner's prayer that she longed to live a laid-back life with her grandmother. I doubt it'll generate any malicious powers. Yes, I believe that too. We'll adopt the regular measures for everything else. Understood. Anything else you want me to tell the department? No, there isn't. Alright. I gave my report and said everything I wanted to say. With that, I'm completely off the case now. The rest is going to be taken care of in the best way possible by those much more experienced than myself. So, We're the guy that goes out and gets to beat up the variants. That's pretty cool.
しかしジュニアよ。
But really, Junior. What is it?
何度も言
I've
うけど
told you a
よ。
bunch of times that you
経
don't
過
need
中
to
の
come
報
all
告
the
なら
way
まだ
here
し
to
も
report on the
完成
missions
したも
that
のであれ
you've
ば
already
こっちで
completed.
も確認してるんだ。
I can
わざ
confirm
わ
the
ざ顔出して
completion
報
on
告
my
しなくて
end.
もいいんだぜ。
I don't feel like I'm finished without doing that.
それにしたって怪我してようが即日報告してくるなんてのは
Did you-
ジュニア
did
くら
you
いの
know
もんだ
that-
ぜ。
Did you know that you're the only one who does the same day reporting, even when you're injured? I am actually gonna turn off the voices. I finish things up as quickly as I can, that's my policy. You mean you're the type to finish all your summer break homework in the first week? Actually, I get it done within the first 3 days of the vacation every year, but I keep my mouth shut about that. He'd make fun of me for sure. I've just got lots of time to spare. I really wish some of that humility would rub off on Cesare. But he's got a day job. I'd call that a hobby. He admitted himself that the thing is just a good excuse for himself to spend time with Curry. Ah, that does sound like something he'd say. Those guys are crazy about each other. Like, they do it to make tools that heat romantic relationships? That's exactly how he described it. Haha, that's nice. Unbidden, I can picture him saying that while running one hand through his hair. That just proves how outstandingly unique of an individual he is. I bet he'd make quite the knight without that bit of his personality. That's what makes him who he is, if you ask me. Heh, you'll definitely change your mind if you spend as much time with him as I do. Honestly, if I had to hear his lovey-dovey talks every single day, I'd probably end up trying to avoid him. Time slowly passes by in this unoccupied ramen shop. It should be a huge matter of concern to any shop owner, but I actually like this kind of composed atmosphere. Even if it's just for a short while, I'm fond of chit-chatting in this laid-back... Wait. Anyway, the air surrounding me here is so relaxing that I don't even care about this bad smell, huh? Is it just my imagination? I feel like this smell is growing stronger when I came in here. No, it's not my imagination. So, you're done with your business, correct? Before I realized it, there was a huge soup pot on the stove with the fire turned on. The sound of the stove blazing echoes inside the shop as if dead in hell were moaning in chorus. What's your schedule for the rest of the day? Get home, go on patrol, and work out. Which means you've got nothing particular important to do, eh? Well, yeah. Perfect. Then you can devour a bowl of my ramen at no charge before you leave. You will, won't ya? What in the world is perfect about that? I have personal experience with just how dangerous accepting that offer can be. I'll pay you 30,000 leave. Yen, so please let me go. If you need more, I'll dash to the ATM right away. I try to bolster my rejection by laying bare all I've got in my wallet. I'm pretty sure that if you had to choose between a month-long untreatable illness or giving away your meager allowance, most people would pick the latter. I know why you're trying to escape, Junior. You're expecting the same level stuff as before, aren't you? Let me declare this, my ramen's reached a different dimension. Does that mean it'll kill me? Yeah, it could be deathly yummy. Because it's such a savory bris made of bristery noodles and sticky soup. Bristly is not an adjective to describe noodles. Let me try again. It's made of solid, firm noodles and dripping wet soup. Happy now? I'm taking that an entirely different way from what he said. No, all you did was swap some adjectives, which worse is now it sounds like... Exactly! Anyhow, I will definitely not eat what you make, no matter how much you beg. Never, even if I have to glue my lips together. Let me ask you for future improvement's sake. What's so bad about my cooking? He seems to have understood how desperate I am. Pop steals his face to carefully listen to my words. Apparently my life has been spared. Well, how should I put this? It's sort of hard to say, but you can be as harsh as you can get. I'm begging you for your advice here. I'll get fixed right away if I can. He leans over ready to hear whatever I have to say. His passion for cooking is painfully obvious. Sincerely respect his diligence. But considering that his dishes sent more than 50% of diners to a hospital, what's so bad about my cooking really isn't what he should be asking. Start with, the ultimate problem is that he never realizes his cooking skills are too awful to be improved by someone's advice. But even so, I'd rather not use harsh words and hurt this man who's been taking good care of me in a non-food related matters. I'd be careful about my choice of words. After I eat your ramen, go on. Yeah. And then the tears begin to roll down my cheeks. In fact, instead of tears, the distastefulness of his food deserves a lawsuit and a guilty verdict. Actually, I always give my thanks for every ingredient when I cooking. And my dishes convey the appreciation to those who eat them. Is that what you mean? You're putting a pretty optimistic spin on this. What? How else was I supposed to take it? I was trying to get you to sympathize with my sense of chagrin? Imagine myself in the position of each of the ingredients. All that pops in my mind is their sorrow. Aha, gotcha. You're trying to feel the frustration all those ingredients felt because they were far too terrible to deserve my cooking skills, no? I wish I were so much better of an ingredient to be able to be of more help to the chef, correct? Holy, you've gone way beyond being optimistic. This conversation has now transcended into a twisted space-time. In what way am I able to get him to understand this? Should I have not had any mercy for him? Looking far ahead, I understand I'll better go out on a limb and continue until he gets a little more reasonable idea. However, if I remain here any longer, my body and mind will suffer irreparable harm. I reluctantly decide to take my leave. Anyway, I'll pass. I'm not hungry right now. I can tell that he'll definitely offer me something to eat again next time I come here. But I decide to postpone figuring out the countermeasures against it until then. Huh. I think I'm going to leave this one off here. This is interesting so far. I'm loving the character so far. Bosses! That ramen noodle scene was pretty funny. So... yeah, that'll be it. Bye-bye!